Hello again. Thank you
Hey,
for
good to see
joining
you.
me.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a new background, so you're moving and traveling and
Now,
holidaying.
next week I'll be back home. Next week we'll be back home and back to the normal. But I know I was like, how do you get good lighting in a rental house? They don't have like ring lights or anything helpful, but I have a beautiful window here. So
Well, that's good. That's helpful. Okay,
exactly.
and what I wanted to bring the energy of today is a bit split. It's about once we got to accept to say yes and to do the job, like actually, how do we do it? Because mm, none of our teachers, I think, taught us anything about networking or how to talk to people.
Certainly not a
You know,
topic in biology. Yeah.
no, in med school neither. Only how to prescribe stuff and command your patient. And this is something I wanted to share a bit because it's really nice. When I first got in, I think we were just like on the beginning of building on social media, right? Because of the COVID and all of that. And
Exactly.
well, I've been trained in that, so to speak, but maybe you can also shed a bit of light on the in person because
Mhm.
now for the last years we could we could have gone back to the in person events, and it's quite beautiful, I believe, to have your family or your friends over and start sharing this with them in a way that is not salesy, because maybe people hear that, and I wanted
Yeah.
to have that a bit in light. I know
Yeah.
you built for us like a very nice paved way to get started, to get sharing, and maybe I think you started to do it right around 2020 for the social media as well.
Did.
And
Yeah.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
been interesting.
yeah, network marketing, I think it's interesting because network marketing, like we've talked about, sort of has the stigma of,
Yeah.
oh, well, don't do that and it's sleazy and whatever. And, once I got through that veil and went, no, there's actually something beautiful behind this. Okay. Like, well, how do you actually do it? Right. I remember coming back from that conference that I talked about in a previous discussion with you,
Envision.
and I was lit up. Like the goosebumps head to toe. It was like, this is so clear. This is what I want to do. Like, and then I got home and I was like, what do I do? what,
Yeah,
how do I
basically.
do it? Yeah. And, it's interesting, like your past in network marketing will either promote you or punish you. And
Mhm.
this is sort of what I mean by that. Like, my past punished me. I've had other team members where the past promoted them. And it's because in network marketing, it's really about talking to people. Like it's a very simple system. You just connect with people. That's step one. Step two, you ask them a question. Like in our case, have you ever heard of redox? Or would you be interested in hearing something that's a breakthrough in the health sciences? Would you be like helping to bring a very unique technology to market? We're looking for, great business people, entrepreneurs that want to be part of this, ahead of the wave. Something like that. Like it's a simple question. And
Yeah.
then the third step is just you connect people with information. That's the general flow. But step one, you got to connect with people. And when I say your past can punish you, like if you're an
Yeah.
introvert or you don't really have a lot of connections, you're not well known in your community, you don't have a lot of friends, family, whatever, like you're like, well, I have nobody to talk to. And I always tell people, like, guys, I was 2 years after a brain injury. I had lost a lot of friendships because they didn't really stand by me through a very dark time in my life. And, by the time I started to share, my mom had already talked to all the family and like, any stragglers of friends I
Yeah.
had. So I kind of went, well, I have nobody to talk to. And so I literally Googled networking. And I was like, I don't know. And like networking groups popped up, which were like groups of business people in my local area that would get together and they would help refer each other business and help build one another's businesses. So that's kind of the route I went. And I'll get into that in a moment. But that's why I say my past punished me, because I had to go build a network. Like I had to go make connections. I had to go take the energy, the effort to go out there and get to know people, get them to like me, get them to trust me, get them to be open to looking at what appears to be salt water in a bottle, right? Like, how do we navigate that? And And so, yeah, it took me a little while. Like, it was probably a year before I got much traction, because I had a whole skill set that I had to learn, which was connecting with other human beings. But people that get promoted in this business out of the gate, right, they have a faster start if they have an established network or credibility,
Yeah.
right? Like, think about a wellness center. It's like, well, people are already seeking you out, asking for the most advanced, biohacks and everything else that's in here. And like, all you say is Asea, and they go, thank you. It's like, it's very simple. And some people have a network, they have influence on social media, for example. Like, I've worked with a lot of people on YouTube, people on Instagram. They already have an influence. And so when they say, hey, I love this product and this is why, like, they've already built up a trust relationship with their audience. And so boom, they can get out with a start. But at the end of the day, like, everything level sets, and this business will really be a reflection of your own belief in you, your own confidence. Like, it will level out to that. It's just like, it's amazing, because it's like a beautiful mirror. To go, okay, I have some more growth to do, like, I need to just, more confidence, more whatever. That's just kind of how it is before you get started.
Yeah, I actually remembered that I went completely. You said that your mother was already like gone through the family and all the, the relatives. So how I first started was, my family needs to know about this. My friends, all of them. I blew up my Facebook. I blew up my phone. Everything. And after that, it was a major depression. Because as you told, the skills weren't there, because maybe going back and thinking back, I just wanted them too much to trust this. And I had to integrate, and I had to realize that the light that I saw, the click that I made in my head, well, no, no other person will do it the same way I did it. And so, there was a very low point for me, I think about 3 or 4 months in. And I still didn't have any job. It was 2020 and I was in a foreign country waiting for my exam results and all of that. And I still remember that I think you were texting me about the Zoom we were having or something like that. And I was so bummed out and so frustrated, actually, because I was really frustrated that why these people that I'm sharing with, they don't see it, and there was like the money problem as well, the financial aspect of it, because I wanted it so much to work, because I really, actually, we didn't have the money for the rent for that month. Like, it was very stressful in that moment. And I still have your message. And you were saying something so beautiful, that I just need to breathe in, because things will settle themselves, because the path in Asea takes, different time for each of us. And I do have something to offer. I do have the authority, because I am a doctor. So at that moment, I trusted, even if it was for just a fraction of a second, because after that I went back to my frustrations. And actually the next day I got a job. So it was amazing that, it's not just restricted in our team, and I believe in the whole Asea family. It's not just restricted, like, to have these goals, to set these things. You need to do this, and this. And if you don't do it, well, you'll fail. So it's not like that, we connect to another level. And it was really, really beautiful for me, because I keep in my heart little moments like that. And throughout the last 4 years, even though I haven't been so active as now with sharing and all of it, I still kept that in me. And it was like a seed that needed to sprout. At the moment I was ready for it, to allow it to sprout. And it was amazing to have that. And we haven't met in person either, so and the connection is amazing.
Yeah.
Where do you find that?
Where sharing that? I can't wait to meet you in person. It's going to be fantastic. I don't know what country it's going to be in, but hopefully Spain, because I want to come visit. But we have a trip to Romania planned when you hit a certain rank, so I haven't forgotten that either. I'll say this, you have to have people around you that believe in you, that can help you, because the mind is so tricky, and it jumps to fear and lack and insecurity. And so it freaks out. And the truth of the matter is we're all held, right? We've all gotten through 100% of bad days, right? That's why we're still here. We're still standing. Everything always works out exactly as it's meant to. I think that was one of the biggest lessons of my traumatic brain injury, was like, my whole life got ripped away from me, is what it felt like. I couldn't work. I couldn't hang out with friends. I couldn't do anything. I felt like hell. I was in bed all day in a dark room. And it was like, this isn't fair. It doesn't make any sense. But if, we then just look at the bigger picture, like we zoom out from those like terrible first moments and like year, we look now 12 years forward, like, well, wait a second, because of that dark period, transformation happened within me that's now allowed me to have an impact on people around the world. And I just understand, like, wow, I was held through that. Like, there was something bigger happening that my mind couldn't grasp in the moment, that was setting me up on a different path to have a different impact. And so when I watch people like yourself and others on the team just like really struggling and in a fear state, I'm like, it's time out, like shift, because it's going to all work out, and it's all going to work out exactly as it's meant to. And it might not be the way that your mind wants it to work out, or that you had the expectation for it to work out. But I promise you, like, it's bigger and more beautiful than like your little mind could ever think of, and like, I feel like part of my, role as a leader and just in this industry, because it's what's happened with me, with my mentors. They always help me just see the bigger picture. They went, hang on, Danielle, no one conversation will make or break your business. No one person is going to make or break your business. Like, it's you, it's dependent on you. And if you trust you, and if you keep working on you, like, it's all going to work out. But you can't go from A to B like immediately. It's like not a straight line. It's like, like, it's crazy. And, but that's the fun. Like, that's life. Like, I've been hanging out with my nieces this week on this vacation, and I was laughing with my brother-in-law and my sister, because we were going on a hike, right? And we're trying to get to a destination. And these girls just want to like pick up the rocks and look at the flowers and like have this conversation, go that way and go slow. And like, and I just smiled and I said, it's really about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah.
And they, you learn that with kids. Like, that's really what it is. And I just said, well, I think that's really what life is about. Like, you set the course, and then you just trust that it's all unfolding exactly as it needs to. And every moment when you're present, like, you catch the magic of the present moment, you catch the lessons, like that's a massive lesson for you. It's like, I need to just trust, like, have the faith. And the next day you got the phone call, they got the position, they got the money, like, and I watched that in so many people. There's like it's almost like, okay, you make a decision. So you said, I want to do this business. And so many people, when they start the business, okay. And I watch every single time. It's inevitable. It happens with everybody. Something comes into their life that derails them, or makes them question, or makes them think, I can't do this, or it's not going to happen, or like, my mom just got sick, or we just, the car just had an accident, we need money for this. And like, there's this massive things always happen to people. And I have now learned that it's like this moment of, well, you have an internal decision to make. Are you going to do it anyway? Are you going to trust and have faith? Or are you going to bounce back into fear zone and the lack and the insecurity and, oh, nothing ever works out for me? Or are you going to say, okay, even despite this, like, I'm moving forward. Like, I got a job to do. I don't care, and you watch any businessman, you watch any person that has created something in their life, like setbacks, they go, okay, like, well, what am I supposed to learn here? And we're moving forward. Like, I'm not going to let the external world dictate, me stopping or going. Like, I'm going to keep moving forward. And I think that's why a lot of people don't make it in this industry, to be frank, is because like that initial hurdle, they don't know how to handle. But if you have good mentors around you, if you have a good community around you, like, they can guide you and go, yeah, I know, like, I've been there too. I've had the doubts, like, this is what I did, or this is how I looked at it. And it just helps you, again, grow. I've told people, like, borrow my belief in you until you believe it yourself. I see it. I don't know all the BS in your head. I just see, like, for you, just this blossoming, full of energy person that has deep understanding of the medical world, the human body, a desire to support people. And I'm like, great, everything will align for you. But you got to get through your own like paradigms first that are, and I'm that version of you up here until you come, and you've arrived. It's like, it's amazing to watch.
Right. It's quite a blessing because I've moved to Spain to heal myself, basically.
Mm,
And I didn't know actually what I was healing from. Or maybe I thought that I would build a career or something like that. And it came like brick by brick, it all came down. It all stumbled in front of me, and I said, okay, now what? And because I've kept on Asea, I've kept on using it, and as I told myself, I may be broke, I may not pay my rent, but I keep on using it. I don't care. This is way too good, and I want. Because I want to infuse this, with anyone that I come in contact with. It's so amazing. I believe because I could be the poster child for the topical version. I use it for everything. I used to have like a bunch full of
mhm.
stuff to use on my face, to use on my body, and when this came in, I said, okay, so this is such a relief because I just have one product. So it's amazing that these things you hang on to the truth, because the heart knows what's real, knows what's
Yeah.
valuable. So you need to have the courage to hold on to that. And after that, the logical conscious steps or pieces will just start falling into their rightful place, or at least that's
Yeah.
how it happened for me. And I
Yeah.
exposed myself to all the trainings, and I listened to everything that you wanted me to take apart. And so all of those seeds are now coming out, and it's quite amazing because I had no idea. Maybe I knew of the industry in itself, but not in a very good way, because in Romania there's Herbalife, very very potent, and we didn't have like really good contact because they were very pushy, like you
Mm.
need to take this because if not, your life will gonna fall apart. And I said, okay, to see. And yeah, there have been a lot of blocks to overcome, and it's amazing to have this system. And you actually like you only invest to become associate and nothing else. Everything else
Yeah.
is like right there, the
It's free.
trainings, everything, the
Yeah.
support. I don't know, is like that for anyone in the industry, or is just we are more special?
Um, yes and no. Like there are different I mean there's different leaders, right? There's different types of leadership, there's different systems, and if you're fortunate, like, or if you know what you're asking for, you should always enter an organization that has support in place, that has a clear system that works. And we're
Mhm.
really blessed. We have it. And you know, I used to teach. I think that like a gift of mine is teaching. And so it just like, it becomes very clear for me about what people need and to make very simple tools to support people. And so over the years, I mean, it's been what, 8, 9 years, I don't know, it's been a long time that I've been myself learning and then turning around and teaching and then, and fine tuning, some
Yeah.
have been on the team for a long time and they're like, we did this system, this system, this system. And I'm like, I've got it clear now. Like the steps I shared with you, it's like, okay, connect with people, ask them a question, give them information. That information is not you. You don't need to be an
Mhm.
expert in redox. You're talking a whole bunch. Like that's a problem. And so you just have to create curiosity. But that's first step, connecting with people. There's so many ways to do it. And this is what like I love is there's like the space for you to bring your own creativity and fun
Yeah.
and like what lights you on fire. And so I have some team members that like they love doing things like in person with people, with their friends, and they have a good network. And so they'll invite people over to their house. They'll demo the gel on them. They'll plug into a video or like a call that's live and get all the questions answered. Well, meanwhile, they're just having a party, right? There's like food, they're just having a good time. Some people love that, And then I have other people like me that like I don't have a network, like how do I meet people? Like I don't know what to do. But they have
Like
a nice local. Yeah. And so it's like, okay, well, there's different organizations. Like there's women's groups that will meet once a month, or there's business groups that will meet weekly, or there's like like Business Network International, BNI, is like very high end. Like this is like a fee to be involved. There's an expectation of like what you're doing and how you're getting involved, and how you're supporting the other members. Because the giver's gain is their philosophy. The more you give and help other people, the more it will flow back to you, which is a philosophy I love. And so like I teach people how to network and how do you actually sit down one-on-one with another business owner? And I love that because it makes someone take themselves seriously as a business owner. And I had there's chambers of commerce, that are set up in most cities. And I remember the first chamber of commerce I walked into, literally the woman there said to me like, well, you have an at-home business. Like that's not a real business. And like, you can't be part of the chamber. And I was like, what? And how many people would have like received that information and been like, okay, it's not meant to be. And I was like, this lady's crazy. Like if she doesn't want me to be part of her business chamber, fine, I'll find another one. So I found another one. And that person, this is what I talk about with like, there's failures, there's setbacks. Like this was a big block in my path where it was like, okay, I want to go network. Okay, here's my local chamber. They denied me. I was like, well, forget that. I'll drive 45 minutes north and I'll find another one. And so I did. And that lady immediately told me, she gave me a list of everything to get started doing. And she referred me business before I walked out of the office. And I was like, okay. And then that was very clear, like the green light, we'll go over here. There was nothing for me at that other chamber. Everything that happened for me was there. And then I met people that helped to coach me and mentor me in networking, and like just everything sort of started to roll from there. But you got to realize like not everything's going to be easy. It's going to be a clear path, but you have to know, like it was a check for me. Like, well, how serious are you, Danielle? Like if someone in the external world just told you, gave you a roadblock, are you going to sit down or are you going to find another way around it? And again, this is why a lot of people fall down in network marketing, because they hit the roadblock and they go, oh, like I had a person on the team that wanted to join a BNI chapter. And the BNI chapter denied them, said, we don't take network marketers, and denied their application. Now, every BNI chapter is allowed to make their own decisions, and they're all got different personalities. I tell people visit all of them because they're all very different. And so I called the director that oversees these chapters. And I was like, hang on a second. Network marketers' jobs are to network. Their job is to meet people. Their job is to connect with people. I said, a networking group's job is to expand a network, to connect people with people. I said, this is so counterintuitive. Like this person's job is to do what this group does. I said, it makes no sense to me. And the director, said, well, there's nothing I can do, like, because they have their own autonomy. He said, but I want you to come on board as a director consultant because you understand networking. And so all of a sudden, this opportunity for me opened up. My associate quit. He hit that roadblock and he said, I don't think it's meant to be for me. So he went from, I'm going to join BNI to build this business, to it's not meant for me, I'm not doing it. Didn't do anything with business, quit the entire business because of that experience. It's like if I had quit the Chamber of Commerce, like he hit the roadblock, he didn't go around it. But interestingly, it opened up this opportunity for me where I got to go and teach at like 50 different groups around the Orlando area and made some amazing connections. And so like when I say it's not a clear A to B, and a challenge might look like the worst thing ever, and this person leaving the team, and it's like, darn it, and you feel bad because you're like, oh, like I wish they could see the bigger picture. They could stay going, but all always working out exactly as it's meant to. That is like, I've had so many experiences like that. And so I just trust it, and back to like logistical brain stuff, like, okay, well, what do you actually do in this business? Well, the other way to connect with people is through social media. And there's so many different channels. I have people on LinkedIn doing business. I have people on TikTok. I have people on Instagram. I have people on YouTube. I have people on Facebook. All of them have seen some level of success through connecting. And like every platform has its personality, just like every networking group would, right? And so it's really just like, you decide what lights you on fire, and I help guide you on, okay, well, here are the steps to take to maximize that platform or that way of doing things. Like this is the tried and true way that's going to get you results. And so as a team, like everyone does a little bit of different things, but all with the overarching connect with people, ask if they're open, and then bring them information. And we're really blessed that like 3 times a week, we have members of the medical board at Asea available for Q&A. So it's like, you don't have to be an expert in anything. Like you just invite people to come and learn, and it's like, yeah, whatever. Then they have their own agency, it's like, you now have information, an informed decision, and I'm going to respect whatever you say. but I just want to make sure you understand what you're saying yes or no to, because a lot of people take a cursory look and they miss it, and it's like, go a little deeper. Hang on. Like, you missed something. Like, I had somebody say to me one time, because I was recommending the gel to them, because they had some discomfort in their body, and they came back to me and said, Danielle, like, I respect you, but like, the internet is full of just like, this is a cosmetic product. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I just laughed and I said, I understand. This is why all you see is like stuff about cosmetics, because that's how it was released. However, it was discovered that it does all of these other things. Let me demo it on you. And demoed it, and they were like, oh my gosh, it worked, and boom, they were in. So it's like, people don't know what they don't know, and we're just like a guide. and then you just don't push people. Like, that's one thing I teach on our team is like, it's not about pushing, it's not about convincing, like, not at all. Like, we have a very powerful breakthrough in our hands. I feel like we are a steward of this technology. It deserves and warrants a lot of respect. And so, if people try to drag it down or drag it through the mud, I'm like, hang on, you're not seeing it. Like, time out. Seeing it, tell me about why you have that perspective or whatever. Like, the guy was like, oh, it's just cosmetic. Like, no, it's not. Like, but explain to me. So we have to help people like really understand what it is. And once people do, like, just like a click happens, but when you first start, you're not good at that. But that's why we have a system of other people that are already good at that to help you. And, yes. I always do a grand opening call with everybody where, like, and I started that. It's funny. I started that after you began, so that, because I witnessed people falling down with their family and friends, which I hadn't had that experience, right? Because my family and friends were already talked to. So I had no of my own experience of like, well, how do you connect with those people? So I watched it happen in enough team members that I went, we need a better system for this. So now everybody comes to just like a 20-minute exclusive Zoom. We would get people like, if you now, right, we'd get your family and friends on there, and I would do the explaining and everything else. You would just say, hey, I know you love me. I know you trust me. Like, there's something you need to learn about. And they come learn from me. And then you learn from what I'm doing, so it's like a beautiful thing. You learn this business by doing it. And like, you're a beautiful guide now. Like, they have anyone that joins with you, joins with me. Like, we work like this together. And so there's just like this beautiful support structure as people, develop and grow the business.
Well, it's really beautiful indeed. Like, all of the stuff that I've been through and the jobs that I've changed over the years, and it was just like that. Like, I need to step out with Asea. Like, I need to do it already. It's been too long. So yeah, I had to get fired to do it, but it's okay. It's how the universe.
Exactly, right. That's like the what do they say? Is one door closes, like another opens, and it's just like, sometimes we're being guided, but our minds are so set on like how we think things are supposed to be, that sometimes we have to be slapped by reality. Like, it's like, no. The universe is like, that is not the way you're supposed to be going. And I'm going to shut down all the energy there and like make you very clear that you can't go in that direction. So you find the right path. But people sometimes they bang their head on that closed door, and it's like, no, let it go, rest back, and just see, well, what can I do? Like, what is in my world? What step could I take? And when you're receptive, like, opportunities are constantly coming in front of you. It's unbelievable. I remember when I first started my business. Yeah. When I first started my business, I just said, like, when I finally got into that chamber, I just said, I'm going to say yes to everyone and everything. Like, I'm just going to say yes, because I don't know where it's going to lead me, and I don't know anybody here. So, I'd moved to a town that I didn't know anyone. So I just said yes. Like, people said, oh, do you want to get breakfast? Do you want to do this? Could you cover for me in this? Hey, would you be willing to go to this event? Hey, this is happening. And I was just on a yes train for like an entire year. And it was incredible. Like, it would be 6 yeses later that something amazing would have happened. But if I hadn't said yes to the first one, like, none of it would have unfolded. So you just got to trust. Okay, this is in front of me for a reason. Like, I think everything is a divine appointment. Like, I'm exactly where I'm meant to be in every moment of my life. And the people passing in front of me are there for a reason. And so if I can connect, if I can talk, bring up what I need to, like, then I've done my job. Like, if you decide you want to do this business, then show up fully in every way you know how, and everything will work out. Like, maybe not in the timing that you think, because you have some lessons to learn. But it all will. Just don't give up.
Nope.
You are like you are the poster child for that.
Yes, I am. I should. I will make a poster of myself and have it on the background. Yeah. Okay, I think we've reached our time. This has been amazing. Like, I really like how we bring out to light some aspects of how the business is, how the team is, how the community, how the support is. Like, oh my god. And it's quite amazing. It's really, I could say easy, because it is easy because of the support that we have to just step into it and see what it's about. And like, if you don't know, you cannot just say no to it. So, and as you said, people don't know what they don't know. And well, I invite anyone to just maybe just take a look, or participating on our live Zooms. I can give you the details of that. So yeah, thank you again.
Of course. Thanks for creating the space. I mean, it's important to talk about like what the behind the scenes actually looks like, right? It's so like nebulous for people, but yeah, it's really simple. Like this business is very easy. Like it's very simple, I should say. It's easy to do. I could teach one of my old 6th graders to do it, right? I used to teach 6th grade, and that's how easy it is. But what gets complicated is the part in between here, which is why you need to be around people that can help. Just hang on. Well, reframe that. Look at it this way. Like, time out. Okay, I had that experience too. Here's what happened. Like, you need that, or else, like, your brain's your worst enemy. Like, and like, your mind can be a masochist sometimes. It really beats you up. So you need to get around people that are not going to beat you up and are gonna lift you and help you step into like the best version of you. And I think that's just the beauty and power of network marketing, and that's why we say believe, belong, become. It's that becoming process. Yeah. So yeah. Thanks, Olivia. Yeah,
thank you. And we'll be here next week again at the same time. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.